all these people love Megan online. Where are y'all at when it comes time to buy that album, bitch? Because she's barely cracking 60K. BRAT is nothing special. BRAT is autotune. BRAT is not something you have to digest lyrically. It's not amazing vocals. It is autotune and club beats.
Yeah.
Now the gays ate it up because that's what gays love. They love poppers, club beats, and feminine women.
If someone drops dead, I shouldn't say that.
There's always time for gossip.
I don't know her.
I still don't know her.
Yeah, double homicide.
Beyonce? Well, yes.
Don't do it.
I would ask you to respect our privacy, but please, I don't respect people's privacy. That's why I do the hot topics.
Welcome to the Gossip Spot, hosted by Trey, Godsey, and Danny Osborn. Looks like you just found the G-Spot.
The gossip spot, that is.
Welcome back to your favorite podcast, hosted by Trey Godsey,
And Danny Osborn.
where we talk about all things pop culture and clock all of the pop culture tea about your favorite celebrities.
Well, yes.
So we're going to start out with a segment that we call Tweet of the Week.
Tweet of the week.
Tweet of the Week. Tweet of the Week, where we discuss a tweet that we saw throughout the week that either made us giggle, made us laugh, or made us feel a certain type of way that we had opinions on.
Well, yes.
So let's go with this week. You can go first.
I can go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is yet again about Wicked. This is a funny one.
Okay.
I will find literally any reason to talk about this movie. So they just released new footage of Ariana and Cynthia finding out that they got the parts. So they released one and it was Ariana Grande and she's on a Zoom call and with the director and he's like, "Oh, you got the part." Well, before that though, you hear her dog barking in the background.
Her dogs are barking.
Yeah, her dogs are barking and Ariana's like, Toulouse, stop. Well, someone tweeted the video and their caption was, "That loud ass dog, OMFG, would have been my dinner." So, which
That's crazy.
I thought it was funny because literally I don't like dogs. I'm not an animal person.
I love dogs.
Oh, I don't. Literally, if you're here barking and the biggest news in my entire life, I'd throw you on the grill. I'd be turning you into an 8-ounce sirloin.
Oh, that's no. In the sense that, no. You know what I mean?
I don't think you should openly admit that you would fry dogs.
Well, that's what AG7 source says, so I think it was crazy.
That's funny, but I love dogs. So
They're eating the cats and dogs.
No, you're gonna make me put that clip in here.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny though. Literally, would be my dinner.
You know, it reminds me of during election week when people were saying they were gonna eat moodang.
Well, yeah.
Because
they said we'd fry that bitch up.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
They're she'd be on the grill. Fuck that fat pygmy hippo.
I thought that was so funny.
But
what's your tweet of the week?
So my tweet of the week is a tweet and it says Nicki Minaj and the Barbs created Stan Twitter, but y'all aren't ready for that conversation though.
You are.
I am. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So I kind of agree with this, to an extent. Obviously there were other fan bases there, the Beehive, the Navy with Rihanna,
even the Kitty Cats.
Yeah.
Maybe. At the time, yeah.
Yeah, possibly, but even Gaga and the Monsters, kind of. But I really do think that the Barbs have so much power that it is kind of insane if you really sit back and think about it. Because first of all, the Barbs have beef. The Barbs have beef more than Azalea Banks. The Barbs will beef with anyone. They allegedly beat up Mariah Lynn's mom because Mariah Lynn was talking about Nicki Minaj in interviews. Mm-hmm. Mariah Lynn is known for being on Baddies, being on Love and Hip Hop, and being she has that one song that people kind of know, the Once Upon a Time Not Long Ago I Was a Hoe, and I'm admitting it.
I'm familiar. I haven't heard that in forever.
She freestyled and dissed Nicki on a radio show back in 2018. So apparently, allegedly, the Barbs found her mom in the streets and beat her up.
I'm still thinking back, like earlier this year with the Megan versus Nicki, and literally, like, what did they do? Like, someone would, like, a Megan Thee Stallion fan would bash Nicki, and the Barbs would find anything,
The
like any
Barbs will
dirt
straight up
ever.
dox people.
They will literally like send death threats to that person's family.
Well, allegedly, some Barbs found Megan's mom's grave and were like dancing on
didn't
it.
they say like they were gonna dig her body up or something?
I don't know, but
That
I think
was
there was footage of
wild.
Barbs like dancing on her mom's grave, which I do not condone that at all.
No, I'm like, don't. That's too far.
But tying this back into Twitter and Stan Twitter, I'm glad you brought up Bigfoot because at the time, you remember Bigfoot Week. Everyone on Twitter was like shitting on Nicki and being like, girl, this does not sound good. This is not it. Like, you need to come harder than this. Funny. Because now everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people on Stan Twitter use a line from that song. They'll say, get up on your good foot. Which I've seen this happen more than once. It's not just Bigfoot. This happens with other Nicki lyrics too. Even Cardi stans will, like Barty Gang, will use Nicki lines in their captions and stuff sometimes.
Which is crazy with
like
the history they have.
Yes, like they'll use them like to reply to other people and argue with them, and it's like, isn't that literally a Nicki line? Like that's what I mean. Like when I say that like Nicki and Barb's run Stan Twitters, because like even the bitches who hate her are still
Will still be quoting her
They're
and
still
stuff.
quoting her. It's just funny to me that like even people who are like her ops will like use her lines against her.
Yeah.
So I think that Nicki has a lot of impact over culture that people don't talk about, because even like social media, because if you think about it, Nicki was really one of the first girls who like embraced social media. Like Nicki's come up was on social media. Like it was through MySpace and connecting with her fans in the early days of Twitter, which is another reason I think she runs Stan Twitter per se, is because Nicki was one of the really first like big celebrities to like embrace Twitter and like
Yeah.
use it daily. And now she uses it too much, but
I remember, and there was like a time when she was first starting out, and I think she like deleted her Twitter, and there was like an uproar at the time.
yes. Because I think she talked about that on Ellen. She was
She
like,
did.
you have like 27 million fans. You just say bye all these people.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Nicki's back on Twitter.
She's back, and they need to take her phone away.
Yes,
which
but I will
we talked
say,
about that last week.
not even just Twitter per se, but like even like TikTok. If you think about it, how many Nicki Minaj sounds are on TikTok?
So many.
Big boobs. I just hit an Ariana Grande note. I make more money than both you and your man put together combined. Like, she has so many like pop culture moments that like Nicki really does run the internet. Like
She's
this
a
is
mammoth. So.
people always say like on Beyonce's internet. It really needs to be like on Nicki Minaj's internet,
Yeah. She's always being talked about.
which is kind of cool because she had her like come up and her cultural relevance on the internet, but then also it's kind of been like the internet's also been kind of like part of her downfall.
Her impact.
Her impact.
Her impact.
Big boobs.
Ciao. Anyway, so
Next topic.
next topic. Are you ready to get into hot topics?
Yes, let's get into this week's hot topic. Shout out
Hot
to Wendy. How you
topic.
doing?
How you doing? How you doing? So this week we don't really have many hot topics. Nothing crazy's
Yeah,
happening.
not too
So
much.
I guess the first thing we can talk about, they dropped the Coachella lineup, which is crazy because they always drop it in January. So this year they're dropping it in November. And I think it's because Post Malone put out his tour dates the other day. And when he did that, it was like speculated he was going to be doing Coachella because it was in Indio, California.
Yeah.
And
And it was 2 dates back to back.
2 dates, and it was like 2 weekends in a row. So I was like, oh, he's doing Coachella. So I think what possibly could have happened is they said, oh, he dropped this. I guess we need to drop the lineup. But I mean, this year, the headliners, Friday is Lady Gaga, Saturday is Green Day, Sunday is Post Malone, and then both Saturday nights, Travis Scott is doing a special performance. Some other like familiar names on there, got Missy Elliott, Benson Boone, FKH Wigs, Charli XCX,
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion, Zed. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this isn't their biggest year though.
No, I've seen a lot of people saying that this lineup's kind of mid, but like, I would be happy. Like,
Yeah.
I would like to see Post Malone, Megan Thee Stallion, Missy Elliott would be a fun one to watch. I don't know. I think there's a pretty good handful of people in there. Like, it might not be their best lineup of all time, but like, it's not
Yeah.
horrible.
It could be worse. I mean, I think last year's lineup, I was like, no.
Didn't they have Doja last year, or am I tripping?
No, I think she did 2 years ago.
Well, whenever it was that she did, this is a whole nother conversation, but like Doja Cat is such a good performer.
Yeah.
Like she puts on one hell of a performance. I saw clips from her Coachella and I was like thoroughly impressed.
There's like this video of Doja Cat performing from a few years ago, and she has on this bluish teal wig, and she's doing, it's like a video of the big screen, and she's doing like this like swaying motion of her hips, and I could just watch it for hours because I'm just like, she has a good stage presence.
Doja is definitely, in my opinion, like the best performer when it comes to all the rap girls.
Yeah, she definitely is, and she just has really good energy and stuff too. She interacts with the crowd a lot, I feel like.
She dances. She puts on a performance for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't be mad to see this lineup.
Yeah. I mean, it could be worse. It could be
It
worse.
definitely could be
It's
worse.
nothing like special, I don't think, but
I think part of the issue also is like Coachella is like, I would say, maybe aside from Lollapalooza, but I think Coachella is like one of the biggest known music festivals
Yeah.
worldwide. So they're almost like held to a different standard. So
it's the most popular one in America for sure.
yeah, so like I
Because
feel like
Lollapalooza's more, we have one in America. It's in Chicago every year, but the one like in South America every year, because they have multiple,
yeah,
those are like probably the biggest festivals in the world.
yeah, probably. But or I don't know, maybe even London for the
Glastonbury?
the Wireless Fest is pretty big.
Yeah.
But I think since they are kind of like held to this different standard, like people expect a lot out of Coachella. They expect like huge stars and like
Yeah.
all these really good people. But not saying that they're bad, but I feel like this feels like just kind of like a regular festival lineup. Like I could see this being at like a Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo.
So like I feel like, well, maybe not Lady Gaga at Bonnaroo, but
Post Malone for sure. Green Day for sure.
yeah. So like I feel like maybe that's
Like a
why
lot of these people have performed at,
local festivals.
yeah.
So like I feel like maybe that's why, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd be seated.
I would go. Well, I wouldn't want to go. That's a crazy festival.
Yeah, for real.
Too much is happening there, but I mean, I'm not mad about it. It could be worse.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. Let's get into our next hot topic.
Okay.
So I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. So a few weeks ago, they had that Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest.
Yeah.
Ever since that happened, it's like every single celebrity is now having a lookalike contest.
Yeah.
And I've seen
There was a Harry Styles one.
there was Harry Styles, there was Zayn Malik,
Malik.
there was Zendaya, Jeremy Allen White. I saw Rachel Sennett. That's all I've really seen, but it's just so funny though because
Yeah.
and the people that win these competitions though, 9 out of 10 times they look nothing like the
Well, I
celebrity.
think that's part of why it's so funny is because like honestly, all of these like entries do not look like the celebrity
Yeah.
at all. Like they could try better.
I know.
I fear.
Who would you like to see like a lookalike contest of?
Nicki Minaj, of course. I think pop girls would be fun, like Lady Gaga or even like Chaperone now. Just like people who have like fun, campy outfits that you could like recreate.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess that would just be like Halloween.
I want to see a Jacob Elordi one.
Yeah.
So bad. I would do
Well,
anything to see that.
I feel like some of these people, like, you knew better. You just wanted something to do today.
Yeah. Because, like, literally, the girl. So, with the Zayn Malik one, all of the final contestants look nothing like Zayn Malik. The Zendaya one, all of the final contestants look nothing
Well,
like Zendaya.
Here's my thing with it is even the other people in that video, like, nobody wore something that, like, I would say Zendaya in, which
I
is funny
think-
because Zendaya is kind of, like, known for her fashion on the red carpets and stuff.
Well, like, I think one of the or two of the girls wore, like, a black hoodie and, like, sweatpants to represent Rue from Euphoria. And then someone wore an outfit that she wore in the movie Challengers. Besides that, like, where's Shake It Up? Where's where's Shake It Up? Where's The Greatest Showman? Where's
Where's Zapped?
Spider-Man? Where's Zapped? Where's Frenemies?
That was a crazy movie.
Did you watch Frenemies?
No.
That movie was nuts. Zapped was nuts. Where's Casey Undercover?
Yes,
She keeps it undercover.
loved Casey Undercover.
Yeah, but these celebrity look-like competitions are getting out of hand.
Yeah, they're funny though. They provide some
I
entertainment.
know. And it's every day now we're seeing like
Yeah, it's like a
Pop
new
Crave
one every day.
tweet. This will be the next
You know-
celebrity look-alike contest. We'll have to see. We'll keep an eye out. I'm sure by the time this comes out, there's going to be
3
10 more.
Right.
We'll see. Well, on to our next hot topic, I guess. Let's talk about so they're doing a new Dance Moms podcast,
Okay.
which is very exciting. And it's 4 out of 5 of the original moms. So we have Christy, Kelly, Melissa, and Jill. No Dr. Holly. As of right now, no Dr. Holly. And the name of the podcast is Pillow Talk. And the concept of this podcast is they are reacting to the new Dance Moms. The Dance Moms of that season 9, if you want to call it that. But this new Dance Moms that doesn't even have Abby on it. So it's exciting that they're doing this. The moms are getting back together. They're going to chat. But why are we reacting to this new season?
Well, I thought they had already had like a podcast of some sort.
Yeah, so Kelly and Christy have their own podcast called Back to the Bar, which
Fitting branding.
Back to the Bar, but it's spelled BARRE.
That's
the
kind
dance bar.
I love that.
This new podcast, though, they're reacting to the brand new Dance Moms season 9, I guess.
I fear I won't be seated.
I
I don't
won't be
really have any
seated.
interest in the new Dance Moms.
I
A show
know.
without Abby is not Dance Moms to me. Y'all should have titled it
No.
something else.
Moms that dance.
Yeah, Moms that dance.
Something else.
Dance Mothers. I don't know.
I don't know. But it's the most shocking thing to me, though, is that Christy and Melissa are going to be doing it together, though, because they've had so much beef
Yeah.
with each other and like they've fallen out of touch. So I guess that's good. And they're getting back together and healing something that was damaged.
The universe is fixing
It's
itself.
fixing itself, I guess. Okay, on to our next hot topic. So Billboard is taking forever to unveil
Literally.
their 20, what is it? What's the exact word?
I think it's like top 25.
Yeah, top
pop
25 pop
stars.
stars of the 21st century.
Yeah.
This has been going on.
for literally like a month or two.
I feel like it's been longer. I feel like it started in like August.
I don't know, but how many
But-
do they release a week? Is it just like one a week?
It's like one or two a week.
Well, we have finally, because we've wanted to talk about this for a minute, but we
yeah.
have finally made it to the top 2, which they have yet to unveil. But there's a lot of speculation that it's come down to Taylor Swift and Beyonce.
Some other big stars in here. Rihanna was number 3, Lady Gaga 5, Britney Spears 6, Justin Bieber 8, Ariana Grande 9, Adele was number 10, Nicki Minaj 13, Miley Cyrus 15. You get the Katy Perry 25,
Ooh.
which that's crazy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said because like Katy Perry has not seen the same success that she saw at the beginning of her career recently. We could say that. Like that's a nice way to put it. But to like diminish her down to number 25 is kind of crazy when she has, isn't it like the
She has
most
9 number
diamond
ones.
singles?
That
Well, I don't know if it's the most diamond singles of all
she
time.
has a
Let me not
lot
say
of
that.
good.
But she has like definitely the most of any pop girls of her era.
She has multiple videos on YouTube, over 2 billion views.
Yeah. So like if we're going off like pop star, like the definition of pop star, just meaning like pop music, then she should definitely be higher. But I also think it's notable that Nicki Minaj is ranked 13. She's the only rap girl on the list, isn't she? Or Missy Elliott might be on there. Is she?
I don't think Missy's in the.
No shade, y'all, but they love to like sneak Missy into these categories and stuff, and like
Yeah, Missy's
these
not on
awards.
here.
Okay.
She could come in and swoop number 1.
Yeah,
Missy-
I guess it's not determined.
Not
'Cause,
determined yet.
I mean, we
but
don't know for sure if it's gonna be Taylor Swift or Beyonce at number 1 or 2, but like that's what makes sense.
That's the most speculation. The 2 biggest
Yeah.
stars in the world right
But
now.
Nicki Minaj being the only female rapper on there, I think definitely shuts down a lot of
Yeah.
haters because, well, I guess not, because they're gonna run with the narrative that like Nicki makes pop music. She's not even a rapper. Which if you think Nicki Minaj is not a rapper, you're fucking stupid. But because at the time when she came out, like 2010, 2011, 2012, she was competing with the main pop girls and in some cases beating them.
Yeah.
She beat with Starship. She beat like for awards and stuff. She won in categories over Rihanna, Beyonce,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Like she was not only competing and keeping up with the pop girls, beating them.
She
So
was
like
winning.
as a female rapper who really came from nothing, who immigrated from another country, like that just makes me like proud to see that.
You know what really like gags me on this list? One Direction's number 22 and BTS is number 19. I
No comment.
feel like One Direction has made more of a cultural impact than BTS. That's very controversial to say, I feel
The
like.
K-pop stands are crazy, but I don't know. I kind of feel that way too. Like, because
We
I feel like
grew up with One Direction, and they have so many hits.
true, but I also feel like K-pop is one of those things that like either you love it or you hate it. Like you're either
Yeah.
a super fan or you don't really care for it.
Mhm.
But with One Direction, it's like you may not like one or two of their songs, but like you're gonna hear at least one of their
You're
songs
gonna
that
know
you
their
like.
songs. And then also, if you think about it, they all have solo careers and stuff. Harry Styles is massive. Niall Horan has hits.
I'm surprised
Zayn
that
has had hits.
Harry didn't make the list like solo too,
Mm-hmm.
because he's had a big few years.
I know.
But what do you think about Rihanna being ranked number 3?
I think if Rihanna hasn't been on a hiatus from music for so long, she could probably be number 1.
I feel like 3. Well, I guess when you put it like that, like 3 could be a little generous because she has not really dropped music since 2016. But at the same time, people, I guess they don't undermine it, but like in a lot of conversations where people talk about like success and all these things, like people tend to kind of forget about Rihanna, I guess because she has taken a step away from music. But like Rihanna really is that girl. Like she had
so
hit
many
after
number
hit
ones.
after hit after hit after hit. Like she may not be the greatest singer, but that one thing,
But she knows how to make a hit.
make a hit.
Yeah, I think she could have easily been number 1 or number 2 if she's kept releasing music.
Yeah. Well, I think the Swifties and the Beehive have been at war these last few days since this list came out of who's going to take number 1. They could have resolved all these issues if they just put Rihanna at number 1.
It's a toss up like who's going to win because I can see it being both ways. Taylor Swift's numbers are huge. Beyonce, it's Beyonce.
This list is done by Billboard. So if they're basing it off of like Billboard stats or
It's going to be Taylor.
well, cultural impact, because I would say that at this point Taylor Swift probably has as much cultural impact as Beyonce. Well, I guess that's a kind of controversial statement to say, but I think she does have a big impact just like Beyonce. And then if they take into account statistics, it's going to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like nobody's touching her sales.
I mean, we're not going to find out for like probably another 2 weeks.
Probably not. Probably not till the new year.
Yeah. So on to our next hot topic. Nicki Minaj just got another diamond single,
Yes.
which Starships.
She just got her 3rd diamond plaque for Starships. Her first one was Super Bass. Her second one was Bang Bang with Jessie J and Ariana Grande. But she is now the female rapper with the most solo diamond plaques. She's tied with Cardi B for the most plaques overall. They both have 3. I think Cardi's are for Girls Like You, I Like It, and Bodak Yellow. But Nicki now has 2 solo ones, which again, people use the excuse, it's Nicki's pop songs. Starships and Super Bass are pop songs. Okay,
She's
whatever.
rapping in them though.
Exactly, she's rapping in them. Like Nicki's whole brand is that she popularized rap into mainstream culture by infusing it with pop. Like I don't even want to have that conversation, but like congrats to Nicki. There should be more on the way too. Like
Isn't Fifi about to be on there?
Fifi is like 8 times platinum, I think, so it's like coming soon. But I will say, if you look at RIAA's website, apparently 6ix9ine's team like removed Nicki's credit, which is kind of crazy to me because apparently they have beef or something. I don't know, but they apparently removed Nicki's credit, which is kind of crazy because like I don't think you can really take someone's credit off a song if they contributed to it. And let's not sit there and play and act like people were listening to Fifi for 6ix9ine, because people were definitely listening to Fifi for Nicki Minaj's verse. Like
When it comes to that song, I can only think of her verse. I can't think.
if
of
you
anything
roll
of
your
her.
windows down, turn your volume all the way up, and play Fifi, what do you think people are gonna be singing down the street?
Yeah.
Draco got that kickback, would have low back. Like that verse was iconic, to be honest. She ate that up. It went like number 3 on Billboard. Like it was pretty big, and that was during Nicki's like blackballed Hate Train era. So like, if she did that in the Hate Train era, that was a big song.
And also, Nicki has so many hits. She
has like
could
23
be
top 10s.
getting so many. I feel like Anaconda's gonna get there.
Anaconda has
eventually,
not been updated since I think like 2016.
which is wild because that song was everywhere.
Yeah, that one's coming soon. I fear. I think Side to Side with Ariana is going to be coming soon for Diamond.
Definitely.
Nicki has a lot more on her plate coming up, I think.
Maybe even she has so many hits.
Literally so many you cannot like even think to name them all.
Yeah.
But she has like almost like 150 songs that have charted overall, I think, and then she has like 23 or 24 top 10 hits.
Yeah.
She has a lot.
maybe I'm thinking of Drake. Wasn't there a moment where she's had the most?
She was the first female artist, not just rapper, but female artist overall to hit or to get over 100 entries on the Billboard Hot 100.
Yeah.
And then she held that record for a long time until Taylor Swift, which this is another point. Y'all Swifties are going to hate me for this. Make sure y'all eat me up in the comments. I will fight you back and comment back. I do not think that Taylor's versions should be counted towards charts. I think the album should be counted like as sales to the album's chart. But if a song has already previously charted, I don't think the Taylor's version of it should chart. If she added new songs to it, those songs should be able to chart. Or if she did like some sort of remix to it, I think that song should be able to chart. But the exact same song just recorded the same way 10 years later, I don't think that should count towards another entry towards the charts because the song is already charted. You just re-recorded and re-released it. But that's how Taylor Swift beat Nicki and got so far ahead on the charts, is because I think she has like over 200 something entries now because all those Taylor's versions she's done, and they let them re-chart.
And they've changed the chart roles so many times now.
They change it all the time.
It's always changing because now radio is like one of the biggest factors to it, which is wild because no one really listens to radio anymore.
Yeah, radio counts a lot towards charts.
Yeah, and YouTube went down. I know.
Well, this is something I want to talk about. It's not necessarily a hot topic, but can we just talk about like the death of music videos? Music videos are dying. Like even because I noticed this too when I saw Chapel. I went on Chapel Roan's page the other night. Her songs, which were everywhere, mind you, like she blew up this last summer. Hot to Go, Pink Pony Club, and
Good Luck Babe.
Good Luck Babe. They only had like, I think it was like 30 million views on YouTube. I was like, if this song like peaked the way that it peaked, even in like 2016, 2017, it would have been like close to 1 billion views. So like, I just think it's so interesting to like see the decline of music videos. And I really do like wonder why.
I think it's TikTok.
It could be.
It just keeps getting worse and worse every year. I think the only people that are getting these high views are the K-pop artists. Because
True.
they have diehard fans that will do anything for their artist.
Well, that's what like even people who have like die-hard core fan bases like a Nicki Minaj are not pulling views like they used to. Like Super Freaky Girl, which is I think about 2 years old at this point, which went #1 in the US and was like a huge comeback for Nicki. It only has like 50 million views, I think. And that was also like one of her last music videos. Because like, well, we saw this with huge mainstream artists too. Like Beyonce has not done visuals for Cowboy Carter or Renaissance. Nicki did not do any music videos or visuals aside from like 2 singles for Pink Friday 2. Like artists are not making music videos anymore, I guess because it's just not lucrative anymore.
Yeah, they're not.
But my thing is they're kind of disguising it under this like, well, at least Nicki is like saying the art should be interpreted by itself. Like I want people to listen to music for the music, not because they're seeing like flashy videos. Girl, just say you didn't want to put money into doing videos.
Yeah. I
love a good music video with the concept.
Though. Yeah. Because some of these people, they will tell an actual really good story. I still think about this music video every day. The video for Thank You Next. Ariana Grande is recreating all these scenes from classic movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the most original thing, but I think it was just so good because it was nostalgic.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe part of the reason it's declining too is because, especially like within the rap and stuff, like it has just been literally so diluted into just like girls shaking ass and just like flashy twerk contests and stuff that like people are not going to keep watching that same type of video
like,
over and over
we've seen
again.
This before.
But I do love a good video that tells a story. Like nothing beats that. Like if you have a good solid concept for a music video that tells a story and gets people engaged, do it. We need music videos again.
Yeah. Which this could also tie into like award shows like the VMAs, because no one tunes into it anymore because music videos just aren't as popular as they used to be.
Well, that's my like what's going to happen with the VMAs?
Yeah.
If people aren't making music videos anymore, who's going to win the VMAs?
Yeah. Which
Video
is one of the
music
most
awards.
iconic award shows of all time.
I would say the most iconic award show of all time. People always say the Grammys are the biggest night of music, but
The VMAs.
everyone knows that all the
every
good pop
single
culture
year-
moments happen at the VMAs.
Yeah, yeah. No one cares about
Great.
music videos anymore, which is sad because it's something that we all love.
Yeah.
These days, like kids are not wanting to go on YouTube and be like, I want to watch a music video. They're wanting to go on TikTok and
Watch a girl do a TikTok dance.
learn a dance.
I don't know. Video killed the radio star, and I guess TikTok killed the video star.
I guess it did.
Speaking of TikTok dances, because Apple was a big
Apple
TikTok
was
dance.
huge this summer.
We're
But
moving into our next hot topic of Charli XCX on SNL.
yeah, she just did SNL, which, so you read a tweet earlier
I did.
to me, and it was saying, what did it say?
The original tweet said that Charli XCX's SNL appearance was like the least viewed SNL episode in the last like 6 months. And somebody quote tweeted it and basically said like, this just goes to show and like goes to prove, I'll put the tweet up on the screen, but this just goes to show that the words like cultural impact really mean nothing, because outside of Twitter, it's not impacting people in real life the way that you think it is, because you're so absorbed in this bubble on Twitter, which I have to agree with. And I think, I hate to bring this up, like literally and shit on her every episode, Megan Thee Stallion. Like, because if you look on Twitter, Megan receives so much sympathy from the general public. She receives so much push from the general public. All these people love Megan online. Where are y'all at when it comes time to buy that album, bitch? Because she's barely cracking 60K.
Yeah. It's 'cause
She's
Megan's
never
doing the same stuff all the time, though.
She has never cracked over 100K. Her debut album, Good News, only hit 100,000. She's never had a number one album. Like, all of this fan support for her online does not translate to real life impact. And I think her unsold out tour said that too. Because let's not play like they didn't hide her data and hide her tour stats, because it was not sold out like they wanted us to think. But even with Charli, though, I don't think that the cultural impact that Brat had online, because Brat was such a big moment online, everywhere on Twitter, I don't think that it translates to real life like people think it does.
Yeah, because I mean, it's been, I think that album has been in the top 10 of the charts all since it came out, or not since it came out, but like it's been in there for a while. And a few weeks ago, it went back to number 2. Never went to number 1 here, but it went back to number 2. So people know it, but I think if you were to tell someone that is not online at all, like us, like, that's so Brat, they'll be like, what do you mean?
I think part of it also is, hate to say this, gay people. Like, and this is just a bigger conversation overall of like how we are also consumed in our own like For You pages, and how it's catered to you to be specific to you. So you live in this bubble where you think everyone knows what Brad is. Everyone, no, honey, you're just gay. Like, you
and I think
are surrounded by other people who love the same things you do. So you all think it's this huge cultural thing. If you go up to a random 50-year-old white straight man on the street, he's not going to know what the fuck a Brad is.
And I saw a really funny tweet today also, and it has to do with Charli because it's Troye Sivan. They just had the Sweat Tour. So SNL, there have been like 4 or 5 skits that they bring Troye Sivan in. And someone tweeted it, and they said people in the Midwest are still wondering who Troye Sivan is. Because like all of those middle states like Idaho, Utah, they're probably wondering, who's this Troye Sivan?
I do not think the Mormons are streaming Troye Sivan.
I know. It's just funny though, because, and they're probably thinking the same thing about Charli though. Like, Charli's obviously gotten big this year. If it wasn't for Twitter and even TikTok, I don't think Brat would have been made that big of an impact. Like, no, everyone would still be like, who's that? What is this?
Well, here's my thing too. I think people are finally like waking up to the mediocrity of Brat. Because if we listen to Brat, this is just my opinion, are probably going to eat me up for this one. Oh, well. Brat is nothing special. Brat is autotune.
Yeah,
Brat does not have hard-hitting lyrics. Brat is not something you have to digest lyrically. It's not amazing vocals. It is autotune and club beats.
Yeah.
Now, the gays ate it up because that's what gays love. They love poppers, club beats, and feminine women. But like, I think people are waking up to the mediocrity of it, because her SNL performance, she literally just stood there with like her
green background.
She had the green Brat background, and she had a purse on her shoulder, and she had sunglasses on.
She didn't like just strutting around stage,
just
singing.
walking around singing.
And that's another thing I want to talk about. Someone tweeted saying this is the best SNL performance we've seen of all time.
Yeah, girl, y'all are crazy.
And I was thinking to myself, no.
Just no. Not when Chaperone just performed.
Chaperone was just, I could name 10 performances that were better.
Nicki Minaj. And I saw a lot of people bring this up and making it like a race issue too, which I'm not going to speak too much on because I don't really feel like it's my place. But I do think that in the music industry, white mediocrity is praised so much more than like hardworking black women. I think so many people come to mind, like the way that Charli XCX has had the mediocre Brat album and all the success that she's seeing. Even like Sabrina's like cookie cutter pop, like, I mean, it's nothing outstanding. You know what I mean? Like any pop girl could really release that. But then I compare that to people like Nicki Minaj who had to work 10 times harder. And if she doesn't do a two-step with her performance, people are going to say she's lazy and she can't perform. Or I even think of people like Normani or Chloe Bailey and all of these black artists that seemingly have to work 10 times harder to get the attention of the public when people like Charli XCX just throw an auto-tune filter on her voice, make mediocre music, and get catapulted into fame.
Yeah.
Like if Beyonce, which I get she set the standard for herself, but like just saying as a black artist, if Beyonce were to hit that stage in sunglasses and walk around in circles for 2 minutes while singing
People
on
would drag
autotune,
her.
people would never let her live that down. If Normani did the same thing, people would never let her live that down. But because it's who she is,
Charli.
she gets praised.
Yeah. One last thing about Charli and SNL. So they did like a part 2 of the Domingo sketch that was done a month ago and Ariana Grande hosted when they like did the parody of Espresso. Well, they did this with Charli with the parody of Hot to Go. First of all, I think it was too soon to do it.
Yeah.
Do a part 2. I was like, no.
I feel like when you do a part 2 to anything and you only do it just because it's successful and not because it has like a real storyline or something, it's always just like dead on arrival.
Because I liked the Ariana one. I thought it was funny. But then the Charli one, I was just like,
They're dragging
they're
it.
trying too hard. It was too soon. It was cringy too.
It just feels like you're trying to get another viral moment.
Yeah, it was forced. And even when it happened, people are commenting saying like, what is this? This isn't funny. It wasn't, I mean, there was moments that were funny, but it just felt tacky. It felt like we've seen this before. Try something new. SNL.
Get it together.
No.
We love you, SNL, but get it together.
Get it together, please. Does this conclude our hot topics for the week?
I think it does.
Next week we won't have an episode. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Neither of us are going to be here.
If
We'll be
something
back.
really crazy happens, we'll hop on Zoom.
We'll Zoom.
But
if someone drops dead, I shouldn't say that.
Oh, that's no. In the sense that, no. You know what I mean?
I don't
We're
think
going
you
to be
should.
on the Zoom next week now.
No
all of a
episode
sudden.
next week. I'm sure none of you care, but no episode next week. Eat good with y'all's family.
Good. We'll see you
be
in 2
thankful.
weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you soon enough.
Yeah.
But make sure you follow us on Instagram at Gossip Spot Podcast. If you have anything you want us to cover in the future, let us know. If we said anything that pissed you off, let us know. We can fight. I promise
Comment
you
down
that.
below. Tell us.
So, any final words?
Any final words? That's it. We will see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
Have
see
a
you.
lovely Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much for tuning
everyone.
in. Make sure you subscribe and keep coming back.
Mwah.